What's up, everybody? It's your favorite new twist on an old classic's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Takara Tomy G1 Optimus Prime with the kind of boosted articulation. This is on loan to me from Jordan W., who came by, sat in for an episode of Nerd Rage, had a good time, and dropped off a few figures as well, and I appreciate it. However, I am trying to get a couple things done. I'm leaving today to go to the beach, against my will, as I'm sure you all know, to spend time with extended family, which is even worse. But I wanted to have stuff for you to watch while I was gone, and I debated whether or not to put this one on Patreon exclusively, but in a way this figure is a masterpiece, or at least the figure it was based on is a masterpiece in its own right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure, or the truck mode, but first we're going to look at accessories. So he comes with his blaster. We have silver paint inside there, otherwise the sculpt is pretty similar. I don't think the barrel's the same, but it's funny story anyway. When I was a kid, when I had a G1 Prime and I opened it up in the car, my dad asked me not to. Two of the things he asked me not to open up in the car that led to dreadful results. And I did open it up in the car and lost the gun in his seats immediately, along with one fist. Never found it. So anyway, there that is. He'll hold that just fine. The fingers also are on a hinge. I failed to mention that in the review, but the fingers are on a hinge at the base pin knuckle. And he comes with an axe, which the original did not. Pretty cool, you know. We have this bit here. I'll show you how that works here in a second. I'm sure you get the idea. But yeah, just orange translucent plastic. Nothing else really to report. And of course, you open this up, slide his fist in, so to speak, heavy on that, and then close this up underneath. And you can probably do much better than what I have it, but there you go. And then you have the axe in motion. Gimmicks-wise, the chest always opened, like back in the day, but now there is a matrix of leadership inside, which is a nice touch. It's plastic. We have the copper or gold metallic metal and the silver metal, silver and gold, with a blue translucent gem inside, and fits nicely in his chest. So, I mean, this does give me the feels. Like, the plastic feels similar to me. It's not exactly the same, but it feels similar to me. The chrome on the gas tanks or the fuel tanks, and then the wheels, the smokestacks, the grill. Let me see your grill. The white pad printed paint there. The gray stripe throughout. You know, you can see the matrix, which is an update, obviously, through the windshield. It's got the rub sign. Let's see if it works. It was just really heat that caused it, right? Yeah, so it does work. Which is cool. You know, just a throwback to the old days. Rubber tires. You know, rolls like a champ. I love it. There it is next to Tiger Tracks. So just the size you remember, if you know what I'm saying. So I haven't looked at the instructions. I'm just going to go off memory. You know, I transformed this thing so many times as a kid. You know, and I always talk about this Prime. It was one of the cooler ones as a kid because it looked like both modes, you know, whereas a lot of them did not. And the transformation sequence even was similar to how he did it in the cartoon. So you just pull the arms out to the side, and you can now adjust the elbows if you'd like. That wasn't always the case. The head is hiding here in the back. New deco on the head. I'm not sure how I feel about that, honestly. And, oh, okay, so this opens up, so that's new. Alright. Does these rotate or anything, or they just get out of the way? And then adjust the feet. And I'm guessing that is it. These tires are new. And I guess that's to accommodate being able to move the legs out to the side. And is that something there? Is that a heel spur or something? Maybe not. But otherwise, kind of business as usual. Anyway, I'll clean them up. We'll take a look at them. And we'll get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis. The head is on a swivel, so you get left and right. The eyes are painted blue. The face plate is painted gray, as is the crest. It used to be kind of the silver and yellow there. And the head sculpt is different, El Total. The shoulders get up to 90 degrees out to the side and 360 around. The elbow ratcheted 90 degrees with a bicep swivel right above it. And the wrist can hinge in and out and swivel as well. Same for the other side. We'll back out now. I don't think there's a waist swivel still. Oh, there is. And if you move the tires out of the... can you get any more? No. These, this is the one thing that, like, the one bit of the new element of it that I don't feel like is completely thought out. But you do get a bit of a waist swivel, which is nice. The hips now rotate out to the side. This one's getting jammed up on something. Oh, you can slide these out. That's what I'm missing there. You know? I don't know. I'm not going to push it too much further. You can get it forward and back. And no thigh swivel. Ankle tilt up and down, that's always the same. And a rocker at the toe tilt, which is a cheat, but I'll take it. Some of the build here is a little off. But otherwise, I mean, you know, new twist on an old classic. I'm not mad at it. There it is from the back, so to speak. Like, I feel like these are supposed to slide more. But I do not want to break it. I'm on a good streak, so we'll let it go. Let's look at him next to the old one. Size comparison wise, there he is with the original. And that's the one that, you know, mucked about in the sandbox. You know, that's the OG right there. Went on many a mission in his day, I can promise you. And it is kind of cool to see them together. And I don't know. This evokes a feeling from me. You know, and I do think there's an element of that that's kind of lost in a lot of stuff today. Buying something that makes you feel. It happens from time to time. There's a few that come to mind. The Roboson Prime, obviously. MMC's Rung. Fans Toys Galvatron. Make Toys Swerve. Like, every now and then there's figures that come along that really evoke a feeling in you. And this is one of those for me. So I got to tip my hat to them. It's just interesting little things like, you know, the changes over the years. And I don't know, it's a love letter. And I think there's something really commendable about that. Love to see it. Final thoughts wise, we'll start with the negatives. There's something going on there with the hips and tolerances in regard to the build. Parts aren't sliding like they should. Hips aren't rotating like they should. I think they should have included an alternate head sculpt. One that was more similar to the original and decoed like the original. Not going for the super cartoon look. I think it's important to offer both aesthetics here, given the history. And not providing that does seem like a significant oversight. I could go in and nitpick this thing to death, right? You could have put a different articulation piece of engineering in the head to allow for a hinge up and down. Like, I could go and nitpick this thing to death. But ultimately, I don't think that's the point. I think the point is to make it come to life a bit more in your hands than the original did, but evoke that same feeling that the original did, because your standards have changed a bit. I think it's to apply itself to your big old age, and I think it does it quite well. The positives, I mean, it's painted well, the materials feel good, the accessories incorporate well, the chrome accents add something to it, like all those things, all the things that you would expect. But like I said, I think the key to this is that it evokes feeling, man. And with more and more stuff kind of feeling soulless as the days go by, there is 100% without a shadow of a doubt soul in this thing. And if you have one, you're going to recognize it. If you love this franchise, you're going to recognize it. There are things about this figure that tie into your feelings in a way that I don't even think I can quite verbalize. And for that alone, it's a recommend from me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.